All right, welcome to our explainer, where we are breaking down the absolutely high-stakes battle for the future of the European electric car market. I mean, what we're looking at today is a real clash of titans, each one making a radically different bet on what the future of driving is even going to look like.
And you know, it really all boils down to this one critical question. Is it better to be a jack of all trades or a master of one? I mean, is it smarter to build a flexible platform that can do pretty much everything, or do you go all in on a specialized, pure electric design? Believe me, the answer to this is going to define the car you drive next.
Okay, so let's get right into it. Meet our three main contenders. You've got the massive Stellantis Group, the engineering powerhouse that is Volkswagen Group, and the digitally focused Renault Group.
And you can see right away they are playing completely different games. I mean, Stellantis is all about efficiency and flexibility, a model that can adapt to just about anything. Then you've got Volkswagen, chasing that, engineering purity. And Renault, they're aiming to be a super nimble, tech-first company. Each one is betting their entire future on a totally unique vision.
So first up, let's talk about the biggest player in the room, at least by number of brands, Stellantis. And their strategy? It's incredibly ambitious, and it's all built on just massive, massive scale.
The whole idea here is their one-size-fits-all approach. Seriously, they've developed these STLA platforms to be the technological heart for, well, everything. We're talking from a little Fiat to a Peugeot, all the way to a Jeep. It's an absolute masterclass in efficiency. But the real question is, does it actually work for you, the driver? But okay, how does this big corporate strategy actually feel in the real world? Well, to make this a little more concrete, let's zoom in on one brand, Opel. By looking at just one car maker, we can see exactly how this huge strategy plays out in the cars you can go out and buy today.
So for any driver who's got that dreaded range anxiety, and let's be honest, who doesn't? This platform really delivers. Take a look at the flagship Opel Grandland. It's built on that STLA medium platform, and it gets an incredible 700 kilometers of range. That is a huge psychological barrier to break, right? It puts it right up there with traditional gas-powered cars.
Okay, but what about the budget-conscious driver? What about the price tag? Well, those exact same economies of scale are what make more accessible family cars possible. We're seeing models like the Opel Frontera targeting a starting price under 25,000 euros, and that's a really critical step to making EVs a reality for pretty much everyone. And for anyone who thinks electric cars are just boring, Stellantis is using this platform flexibility to bust that myth wide open. With its sporty GSE line, Opel's adding more aggressive styling, they're tuning the suspension. Basically, they're proving that electric can actually be emotional and fun to drive.
All right, so that's the one-size-fits-all strategy of massive flexibility. Now let's zoom back out for a second and look at the rivals. Because Volkswagen and Renault, they're taking the exact opposite bet. They believe specialization, not flexibility, is the real key to winning this whole EV race.
And you can really see their different paths right here. On one hand, you have Volkswagen. They're all about that engineering purity, right? They're developing platforms like their upcoming SSP that are designed only for electric vehicles, nothing else. The bet here is that purists are going to want a car that was born electric from the ground up. Then, on the other hand, you've got Renault. They're basically trying to become a tech company on wheels. They created their Ampere division, they're partnering with Google for top-notch software experience. Their bet is that for a lot of people, the user interface is going to be way more important than the chassis.
So, what does all this corporate strategy really mean for you, the person who's actually going to be behind the wheel? Well, what it means is that each of these companies is designing cars for a very specific type of person. They're basically creating three distinct tribes of EV drivers.
So the fun part is figuring out which tribe are you in. Are you the pragmatist, the person drawn to Stellantis because you want value and lots of choice? Or maybe you're the technical evolutionist and you really want that dedicated pure EV engineering from Volkswagen? Or are you the urban digital user who prioritizes a slick software experience and city-friendly design from Renault? It's pretty interesting to see where you might fit. Okay, this brings us to the final showdown. Let's really weigh the core strengths and weaknesses of these competing visions. Because, let's be real, no single strategy is perfect.
When you look at Stellantis, its biggest advantage is just sheer power, financial and industrial might. This massive scale allows them to be incredibly profitable. It lets them adapt super quickly if, say, the EV market slows down. And of course, they can cover every single market niche with their 14 brands.
But, and this is a big but, there's a huge risk here. and that risk is sameness. I mean, think about it. If an Alfa Romeo, a Peugeot, and an Opel all share the exact same heart, can they really, truly feel different to drive? That potential brand dilution, that's the core weakness of their otherwise really powerful strategy.
And this final table really puts it all into perspective, doesn't it? You've got Stellantis with its incredible efficiency, but that risk of sameness. You have Volkswagen's industrial power, but it's being weighed down by seriously high costs. And then there's Renault's fantastic design and digital agility, but they're limited by their smaller scale. It's three giants, taking three completely different gambles.
So this leaves us with one final, really provocative question to think about. Is the future of driving going to belong to the most efficient company, the one that can build everything for everyone? Or will it belong to the most innovative one, the company that creates the most focused and compelling experience? The race is definitely on. Thanks so much for joining us for this explainer.